Okay, this is going to be a brief video in which I try to explain what I see to be the three levels of claim making that goes on, the three levels of claim making that go on in a non-fiction piece of writing. So this is especially prevalent in journalism or data that is captured and given to an audience with the light or with a goal in mind, an authorial goal in mind of persuading the audience about something. So it's not just a strict data relay. Let me give you the who, what, when, where, how, and why. Let me report this. This is data. It is a reporting, but with an end goal of, now with this data, I'm going to put it together to try to convince you of something. So the authors will use this data to fashion claims, and with the claims they'll build a structure that ultimately will support a main point, the overarching message, the controlling idea, the conclusion. And I'll never use the conclusion to refer to as the end of your own writing. I'll use the words like close, wrap up, end, ending paragraphs. But I want you to always think of the conclusion as being that position or that claim you end up believing in based on the data that you examined prior to it. So it's the thing that the data leads you to. That's your That's what you conclude from the data. So the conclusion is going to be what you conclude from the data. That is also what I'm going to call the thesis. So we have these three levels, and you can look at them in terms of a table. Alright, so I'm going to give you this picture first quickly. You have the legs of a table, right? And then you have the thing itself. And the table is standing itself on a floor, right? So you have its position on something. The floor here, and here's a little electric socket for you to put this all in perspective. Okay, the floor here is the data, which is specific, brute, scientific results, historical, facts. Facts is a tricky term, but specific, quotations. All of this material is what I call data, and there really is no arguing about it. For example, an historical fact: the Titanic sank in 1912. If you think it sank in 1913, we can settle this dispute by simply an appeal to specific quotations and venues we think are authoritative, like the encyclopedias, news reports. National Geographic ran a large spread on this, and we'll find the date 1912 in there. So, although we might engage in some initial disagreement with this, we don't last very long with it, because it can be quickly established which one of us is right, which one of us is wrong, to an appeal to numbers. So, or to a scientifically verifiable event, or conclusion, or a historical event, the recording of an historical event. So I also need to put up your statistics. So this is data. Now the table of the author's opinion or point rests on this. Now what we have here, the legs I want to call the supporting point. And primarily, claims that are based on the data. But these are minor claims. I mean, they're not going to be data. They're going to be the interpretation of the data. But these are, you'll see that although they may feel like the thesis, like the main point, when you look at the whole writing, they actually turn out to be subpoints. Not data, but subpoints that support one main thing, which is going to be the thesis, the overarching message, the controlling idea, the main point. Now, I like to use that sort of emphasis in distinguishing what I call main points, plural, to the main point. So the language does get a little confusing here, but if we can think of this as the thesis or the big message, And these are the smaller claims that support that, and these smaller claims, everything is pretty much based on this data. There's another thing that it can be based on down here, and that is logic, propositions that are logically self-evident, like definitions, or just A is A, the first law of logic, the law of identity, right? If A is A, then it is A and not A. So anyway, now this whole thing here, all of this, we're talking about claims. Okay, they're all claims. But this is the bottom level claim, this is a middle level claim, this is the top level claim. Okay, so I'm gonna put that over here. Bottom level claim. This is claims. These are mid-level claims. The legs. This is the top level claim. I really want to stress it needs to be a singular here. We're talking about one main idea. Okay, these are subordinate ideas that hold up this, and this is the data or the logic or the values that hold everything up. Okay, so we need to look at a piece of writing and be able to distinguish, hey, this is a bottom level claim, this is a mid-level claim, a supporting point, this is the main point. Okay, we need to be able to find that main point. If it's not explicit, like clearly written out, something like this is my thesis, this the main point of this article is, then it's going to be implied. And I'll show you how to find that in the next video.